Right, so if you have a seat in that one. Right, now, I wear white not because I'm the oldest virgin you've ever seen. I did do that once. I stopped off, it was Valentine's Day night, and I went to one of these alcohol places, Super Liquor. We'd been meditating, we'd been doing some healing. Me and my girlfriend were both similar age, both dressed in white. And there was a young boy at the counter, probably 20. And he looked at us, and we looked at him, and we knew he was looking at us because we were dressed oddly. And in the end, he said, "Why are you dressed like that?" And I couldn't resist. I had to say, "Love, we are the oldest virgins you've ever seen, and we need some alcohol to get laid tonight." And he just went, whoosh, right. And I said, no, we're not really. There we go. So there's not a lot of purity here. There's a lot of goodwill. There's a lot of goodwill towards my fellow man, towards the planet, towards the animals. I want everybody to be well. But I'm not pure, am I, love? No, he's looking at me very sadly as we say that. He'd not be happy if I was, would he? Eh? Right. So what's your first name?
Matt.
Matt. And what's happened to your knee, Matt?
I woke up one night and it was swollen about 4 years ago. No rhyme or reason for it.
Right. Was there any heat with that swelling?
No, I couldn't really straighten it properly.
All right.
It was sort of locking out at about there.
Yeah.
It didn't really hurt, it was just swollen.
Right.
Ended up going and having surgery.
Okay.
Because that's what surgeons do.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sent me for MRIs and stuff and suggested there was a MCL tear.
Right.
But when they went to operate, they just opened it up and there was no tear. So
Oh.
they just flushed it out and sewed me back up.
That's
And
interesting, eh?
Ever since, my leg faces out sideways and I can't run anymore or anything like that.
Since the surgery?
Yep.
Right. That was useful, wasn't it then, eh? There is an American knee surgeon who, so let me explain. I asked for the healing for Matt. The healing comes from God, okay? I'm not a part of any particular religious group. I don't go to any particular church. I believe that we're all living in God. We're all living in God right now. God is invisible and God is everywhere. And that space in the room, well, that's God. And you're in the space and the space is within you. So you are God also. Now, if you are God, what problems have you got this lifetime? None. If once you understand that you're God, you don't have any problems this lifetime. Okay. So I ask for healing from God, from that source. And what happens for me is the energy gets stepped down by some really advanced spiritual beings, guides. And these are people that were doctors in physical lifetime, last physical lifetime, 200 years ago. They were literally doctors. Some of them were, not all of them. And when they got to spirit world, if you can imagine medicine 200 years ago, it was a bit of, sawing off a leg. No anesthesia, no cleanliness, we didn't know about bugs and diseases. And so it was very, very brutal. They got to spirit world and decided there must be a better way. Let us find a better way. And they've stayed in spirit world, not incarnating, to try and help the rest of us. Now just go like that again with it, Matt, see how that feels.
Yeah.
Is it feeling any different?
Yep, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It's still a little bit sore in there, but...
Yeah, just rest it down. So I've been able to do this for 25 years. Now, how did I discover I could do this? It's a rather extraordinary story. And my first book, Medium Red, tells the first story. But in a nutshell, what happened was I was on the London Underground and I was travelling with a girlfriend and we were on a train tube that we normally took. We'd taken it for several days, same time, every day, we travelled together. And while we were on the actual tube, there was a man sat diagonally opposite me with very blue eyes, really blue eyes. And those of you that have seen me before, you have a look at my eyes tonight and see if they ain't a darn sight bluer than last time you saw me. All right? So one of the things that is happening for me in my life is as I advance spiritually, my eyes change. And if you look at the books, I've done 4 books, the eyes keep changing. Yeah, and my eyes become bluer. And this man had very vivid blue eyes and white hair. And I've been waiting for my hair to go white. At last it's going white. I'm 56 and at last it's turning white. All right, that means the crown chakra's open. It's wisdom. It's wisdom. All our politicians should have white hair. Seriously, they should have white because they're the wise people in the community, yeah? And then what do? We cover up our whites, don't we? But we actually want the whites to show. It shows people that the crown chakra is open now. See, your crown chakra is more open than mine.
Been open since I was about 18.
What? Woo!
It's the island genes coming out.
Right, there we go. Just go like that.
It feels a bit freer.
Feels fair. Just try walking on it.
It's still a bit, it's tight in the back, but it's,
Yep.
I'm not feeling anything there again.
Right, brilliant. So sit down there. All right. So I was on this tube with this girlfriend. This man was looking at me and he was staring at me. And you know when you're on the tube, you feel a bit, even though he looked like a nice, friendly man, I didn't look at him, I looked away. And as we got off the tube, he gestured for me to get off and it wasn't my stop. I looked up, no, that's not my stop. So I stayed there chatting to my girlfriend. And after a few minutes, we realised, oh, hell, we're on the wrong tube. And we got off because it had reached its terminus. How we both got on the wrong tube, we don't know. That's a bit weird. And as we got off, he was there waiting for me. And he said, I'm here to tell you what you're here to do. And I thought, I'm humouring this nice old, sweet old man. I'm not rude. I've always been brought up to respect my elders. So I said, well, go on, tell me then, what am I here to do? He says, you're here as a healer and a teacher. Don't forget the ones that can't see. The ones that can't see will still feel the vibration. And with that, he took his walking stick, tapped the side of his shoe twice, and went off. Now, I turned to my friend to say, that was weird. And she said, he's not of this world. And I thought, she's darn right he's not. So I went running after him. He was on an upward escalator, and he wouldn't turn and face me. All he did was put his hand up, and he just said, good luck, good luck. All right, if you want to read more of the story, you've got to read the book. It has been a bestseller here in New Zealand. It's because it's a true story, not a fiction, it has to compete with factual books. It knocked the Edmonds Cookery book out of top spot for 1 week. 1 week. 1 week I was number 1. And then I was number 2, because Edmonds Cookery book, which is a very good book, isn't it? Who's got one at home? Yeah, I can't compete, can I? Right, okay. So that was 25 years ago, and it feels like that. Have you noticed with your life, it's like that your wedding day, it's like that your first baby. That's what Einstein tried to teach us when he said that time was relative. Yeah, he said that, you know, an hour with it's like an evening on a hot date goes like that. An hour with your hand on a hot plate will seem like eternity. Yeah, the bits you enjoy, don't they go fast, those holidays you enjoy? Time in hospital drags forever, yeah? It's all relative, it's all relative. So I find it really hard to believe that was 25 years ago. And I didn't understand the meaning. Right, give that a go. They give me a little sign that might be complete.
It's definitely freer.
It's freer, eh?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Right, walk around on it, Matt.
Yeah, there's no pain there.
Yay! Yay! Excellent. Cool.
Thanks for that.
All right.